like 1 out of 100.
All right. Here we are, the end of the trip, cracking some beers.
Oh, baby.
Cheers. Cheers, boys. To a good trip.
To a great trip. Ending it where we started, Eastern Washington.
Well, Nick, you want to give us a lowdown on what we did today?
Sure, yeah. So we hit this trail. Is it the Manitash Trail?
No, it's the Summit Ridge Trail.
The Summit Ridge Trail.
Yeah.
And we had a couple friends come out here. One of them was driving a fairly new Grand Cherokee, and the other was driving I think it was 1980 Harvester Scout. Anyway, both of those are capable vehicles, more or less, but they had quite some troubles today. At least the Harvester Scout did. So, Conrad, you want to talk a little bit about what happened when we were on this trail today?
Sure, yeah. We got up to this area that was really rocky and steep, and it was like rock, pretty rock crawly, and they were trying to take the Scout up a pretty steep hill and broke some mechanical part. So he had no power to his wheels after that. We heard a pop. We don't exactly know what broke. Could have been like a differential or a transmission or something. And then we had to pull him out of there. We met up with some guys. They helped us winch him out to the top of the hill, and then we towed him out the rest of the way with my 4Runner.
And this was quite the audience too. We had to have at least 30 people looking on, and the whole ridge was lined with Jeeps with some of them had 42-inch tires.
Yeah.
And I've got 31s. Conrad, you've got 31s.
Same as you.
Yeah, 31s. Ben's got 33. So, it was definitely a little bit above our pay grade, but fun nonetheless. And only Brian was crazy enough to try it, and he paid the price.
It was quite the day, and I actually escorted Brian down to town, and it looked like the Scout was running okay. He felt like it was enough to get him home, so he's actually making the drive home on the highway, which is questionable. We'll see if he makes it, but hopefully he makes it home safe. And all in all, we had a great day. So Nick, what are some of the highlights for you for the trip? Like, what have been some of the best spots that we've gone to?
Well, I think we learned early on that the cadence of staying in one area for an entire week and then moving on the Friday or the Saturday was just the way to go, because you can really settle in. You can really have the stability that the work requires. Every morning you want to get up and not have to question where you're going to find service. And so we'd commute 20, 30 minutes out to get service, and then it'd be basically like a nice easy commute to and from camp every morning. We didn't have to worry about stressing out about getting somewhere super late, wondering if we had enough service to work. And so just speaking generally, the cadence was really great. I also think we did a very good job too of alternating between water and kind of oceans, and then forests and rivers. We kind of alternated between those and kept it really interesting. And the beach was a whole new skill set of off-roading on sand. The sand dunes were crazy. Those might be the highlight. Those were just a different world for us. So
for sure,
that's what stood out to me about you
and
guys.
those are the Oregon sand dunes, just along Highway 101 on the Oregon coast. It's a massive expanse, maybe 50 miles worth of off-roading heaven, and we definitely didn't have the rigs initially to hit it, but Conrad helped me out with some key upgrades, and we were able to really enjoy those sand dunes, and I was able to make it up the hill, Conrad. So
Yep.
You got to give me props for that.
The hill.
The hill. There's the hill. You guys will see it in the video.
I was the only one who couldn't make it up, actually, but it's okay. I did pretty well on the Rubicon. Kind of redeemed myself.
What did you think, Conrad? What was your highlight?
The dunes were awesome.
Hey man, you got some leg showing. There we go. Let's cover you up. All right.
Nice, yeah. Gotta stay modest. Yeah, the dunes were pretty great. I don't know. It's got to be the river rafting. That was pretty fun.
The river rafting was insane. Yeah, in Tillamook, you guys will see where I almost basically died, just out of hypothermia. I was just so goddamn cold. It was insane. That was one of the highlights for sure. And I couldn't have done it without Nick kind of showing me the ropes. And Conrad and I had quite a few rolls and tumbles in that river. But
hey man, we outfitted you well. We got this guy a $5 Walmart raft and a shovel, a sandbox shovel. You did well, man.
I did my best for sure. I think towards the end of it, I really got the hang of it, like how to distribute your weight and what part of the river you want to be in. But I'd say for a $5 Walmart floaty and a shovel, it was good. It was good for sure.
Yeah, that was one of the highlights for me too.
I think probably one of my highlights actually was hanging out with my family. We went and stayed at my family's cabin, and I met some cousins that I'd never met before, which was really great. And we took them on a crazy day of off-roading, and we found these amazing river water pools. I don't know what you want to call it, swimming holes.
Waterfalls.
Yeah, waterfalls and swimming holes. And we took some of the gear, some of the recovery gear, and we fashioned like these rappelling ropes. And we went down and swam in those rivers, and it was really beautiful and amazing. And that was down in the Stanislaus Forest in Stanislaus Forest in California. Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be a highlight for me.
Absolutely. You learned how to sail, man.
Yeah, that was really fun. And while these guys were working, I was out sailing every day, and that was really awesome.
Don't rub it in, man.
Yeah, Conrad really was a natural. Wouldn't you say, Nick?
Oh yeah, he did really well. Yeah. And then he took out an Optimist on his own in what was that? What creek was that?
A Pinecrest.
Pinecrest Lake, yeah. Pinecrest Lake. Yeah, you did pretty well out there.
Yeah,
man.
I made it all the way to the other side of the lake, upwind.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So once we get back to Seattle, maybe in the coming years, we'll take Conrad sailing on the 36-footer, and we'll do a Blake Island trip or something like that, and really kind of show him the ropes on a bigger sailboat. Maybe even get your ASA 101, just like I just got that done a couple years ago with my sister. It was really good. Should consider doing that. But yeah, I think we had sailing, we had rafting, we had off-roading. I guess what was your favorite mountain off-roading spot?
I mean, the Rubicon for sure. We were right next to it, camping right there. It's so convenient to get there. We basically just woke up and took some of these back pathways to get there. Yep. And we were kind of ready for it. We were in the mentality for it. We were nice and aired down, and we had all the recovery gear we could want. We just kind of piled into the Samurai. Once we got to the first big obstacle that threatened to stop us, we kind of pushed through that and made it probably down half the trail before we decided it was time to turn around. Not because of obstacles, but just because we didn't want to be going there until midnight. So for me, that was probably the highlight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Rubicon Trail is such a legendary trail, and we wanted to make sure that we hit that if we were going to be in the Lake Tahoe area. And I highly recommend it for anybody that has a serious rig, probably lockers, probably 33s, some maybe some stone guards or whatever.
Or a Samurai.
Or a Samurai.
Yeah. Because I had 31 open diffs. Yep. And, no issues. I was clearing obstacles just fine. And we, not that many people were on the trail. It was kind of surprising. Such a famous trail. It was relatively empty. But when we did see other folks, they were banging bumpers. They were diffing out. They were hitting a lot of crap that, the Samurai just cruised through with not a scratch, not a bang. So,
yep.
I was pretty happy with how it performed. But it is tippy. I almost tipped it 3 times. So, that thing is top heavy. I'm going to have to think of a way to maybe widen the stance or address that in some fashion. Or, I don't know, recline my chair and sit real low.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a short wheelbase, it compensates for a lot of, people put thousands of dollars into their rigs. And, if I was to turn my Explorer into something that could hit the Rubicon, like with the ease that Nick's Samurai did, I'd probably have to put 10, 15 grand into it. But yeah, that was a real highlight there. What about for you, Conrad? What was the mountain highlight for you? Or which beach was your favorite?
Definitely that one in California. The one that was super hot. It was like so hot it was
Oh, you mean the
miserable.
river?
The river.
Yeah, the river.
Yeah, the river
Yeah.
beach.
How about you
Yeah.
talk about that a little bit, Conrad?
So that was pretty awesome. It got really hot during the day. It was like 100 plus. But we were camped right along the river. What was that? Wilson Creek or something?
Yep.
Willow
No,
Creek?
Trinity
Willow
River.
Creek? Yeah,
No,
Trinity River. That's
Trinity
right.
River. Yep.
Yeah, it was like right on the edge of the Humboldt County in there's a river that's right on the county line in California. And so we went up this pretty long trail and got to this pretty secluded spot where there was a few swimming holes. And until the weekend, we didn't really see very many people out there. But yeah, that was awesome. It was super hot during the day. Had to jump in the river just to stay alive a couple times a day. Yeah, that was really fun. You know, that was definitely my favorite beach.
It was absolutely beautiful. I mean, the setting was just
Oh, yeah.
phenomenal, and the sand was really nice sand.
And
You know, it wasn't rocky.
the water was really good temperature.
Yep.
Now the negatives. The sand was like 1,000 degrees during the day. There were a lot of mosquitoes, but the nighttime temperature was amazing.
And we lost
Maybe those are
a lot of good produce to the harmful effects of the sun.
Oh yeah, we had garlic that was cooking itself. Our ding dongs became
Yeah.
decrupted, and that was the last we ate.
we
the
had
last
the
of the
ding
ding dongs
dongs.
we ate. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that was definitely a beautiful spot, and
Ben-
thankfully we kind of hit a lot of really cool rivers on this trip.
Yeah, that was where Ben made his hot dog pasta the first time.
I
Conrad
guess
likes
that's
that.
become legendary at this point. We made it a few times now.
That was good.
So why don't you speak about what our motel mentality was? Like,
Yeah,
when did we decide
yeah.
to get those and not?
Yeah, we got to motels a couple times on this trip, probably 4 or 5 times, and it was typically at the end of the week when, you know, we just didn't quite make it to our destination, or there was something blocking the road, like a gate or something that we weren't expecting, and so we just went ahead and got a motel and took showers and kind of recharged the batteries a little bit on the road. And I'd say that was pretty critical to keep our sanity, I'd say, and you know, be able to take showers and clean up and feel kind of like a normal human being once in a while was nice.
And we still did pretty well at you know, keeping clean the rivers and lakes and whatnot. And you know, we tried not to use very much soap. It was always biodegradable. And right guys. And
Yeah.
but the motels were nice for sure. You know, you could spread out and do laundry and whatnot.
Yeah, we did a lot of laundry. That was the key with the motels is, you know, those motels have nice little laundry facilities for, like, you know, you just put in a couple quarters and you can get your laundry done. But
Yeah, cheap coin laundry. It was kind of hard to sleep in the motels though. Like, it was just really like, after you've slept on the hard ground long enough, like sleeping in a bed almost felt like weird. You know, it was kind of hard to get good rest in the motels. You know, I've kind of gotten used to just sleeping on the hard ground or whatever with just a couple, you know, small foam things.
yeah, I think Nick was the most adventurous out of all of us in terms of the sleeping situation for most of the trip, because he did a lot of hammock sleeping and slept on the ground, and Conrad did as well. I was very prissy, I guess you could say.
Cushy, man. Cushy lifestyle.
Very cushy lifestyle. I slept the whole time on my air mattress in the back of my truck. But Nick, you want to talk a little bit about your sleeping situation?
Yeah, you know, it takes a certain skill set that is developed over time to sleep in a hammock. You basically can't adjust anything without the whole thing like wobbling and tipping, and your body, you know, lays down in this hammock. So, you know, first of all, you have to have an air mattress or some kind of cushion below you, between you and the fabric. Otherwise, it saps your heat in the wind. And so, you know, you'd have this laying under you, and then if you kind of move around at all, it kind of gets out from under you. So it takes a lot of practice and trial and error to get comfortable in the hammock, but then eventually you kind of figure it out and you don't move around as much, and it kind of works out. So I was in the hammock for about 2 weeks at a time, you know, without fail. So it was a lot of fun, you know.
I will say that Conrad definitely takes the cake for the most creative nap spot, and that is under my truck. Like, Conrad pulled up his mat and just like laid it out right underneath my diffs and just took a pic down there.
For like 4
For
hours.
like 4 hours, he was just like
It was
hibernating.
Hot. It was hot.
And the first thing
it
he
was
did
the
when he
only
woke up
shade.
was hit his head on the diff. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny, man. Probably one of the biggest damages you've had to the diff too, man.
exactly.
Well, anyway, it looks like the screen's getting a little dark and we're running out of battery. So, great trip, guys. We're gonna do it again. I
Great
hope.
trip, absolutely. Once in a lifetime kind of trip. Like, couldn't have asked to have done it with any other people. Like, this crew was the absolute best, and really look forward to doing it in the coming years and the coming months. So, stay tuned for some more content, some more 4x4, overtime 4x4 content, and have a good night.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Cheers.
Cheers.